Yes, Commander. We completed our patrol of sections 4 through 6 with no sign of silent activity. Okay, good. These after-flight briefings are getting shorter and shorter, which doesn't bother me in the least bit. You've earned some rack time, so... one more thing, if I may. I know things have been a little bit rough with us trying to escape the Cylons and everything, and not all of us are hotshot pilots like Captain Apollo or Lieutenant Starbuck. But our Vipers need attentions too, so is there any way you could get the Chief to kind of look at my Viper and some of the other guys and kind of get them going again? They need a little bit of help. Okay, well, send the Chief in on your way out and I'll see what we can get done. Thank you, I appreciate it, sir. Hey, you know the deal. I don't tell you how to fly, you don't tell me how to fix. You need to see me, boss? Yes, I did call. How we doing on Viper maintenance? I know we're running a little bit short on parts here and there, and we just need to get as many flying and in battle ready mode as possible. So do you think you can help me out with that and get that done? Well, us Pans aren't one to walk away from a challenge. We'll do everything we can to get you right as rain. Okay. Thanks, I appreciate it.
Hello, fellow builders, and welcome back to the bench. I'm the mediocre mother. Mediocre mother. And we're on part 3 of our Battlestar Galactica Launch Bay build. It's a combination. It's not all 78. Well, it's not. The bay itself is not 78. It's the reimagined bay, but we have a little bit of an homage to the classic, per request from our buddy New York Pete. And this is actually ready to paint. We'll come back to this. The main thing that we had to stop for is we had to wait for our greeblies to arrive from England. And they did. I can't even say it took a long time for them to get here because I messed up and I put the wrong address on I got the right house number, but the wrong street name. I don't know how I did that, but luckily for me, I have great neighbors, and I wrote a little note and left my card on the note in the door jamb, and I got a phone call within 15 minutes of the time I left the note. I was really stressing out there, but we got them, and we can continue on with our build. This is one of those situations where when you order something from the internet, you really pray that you're getting as advertised. And in my opinion, this is better than advertised. Especially since, let's take a quick look at what the pieces looked like online. Real quick. So this is the set that I picked up here. And it's actually, I think, okay, so there are 5 sets. And I got set 1 and 2. Okay? And the picture, that's all we get. Which isn't a bad picture. You can kind of blow it up and go, okay, that looks pretty good. And the other set I got was, oh, look at that. I didn't even see those. Man, look at that, Tipsy. Oh, those are cool. Oh, look at that. Cylon down. Cylon down. Cylons with swords. That one looks like he's... Well, anyway. I'll have to keep that in mind. But the other set I got was the pilots. There you go. And so these are what we look like. And see, of this set, you don't actually get a picture of the actual ones. So let's see what we actually got. I have literally been oohing, ahhing over these things for a couple of days now. That is just the ladder, and the detail on these things are so amazing. I mean, that, and then you've got your engine, hoist, right? And I took some pictures, so let's look at the pictures. So the first set is the engine hoist, the toolbox, and the ladder. And I took a picture of it, and I put a quarter down so you could kind of get the relative size. And then that still really doesn't give you a good comparison. So I grabbed the 72nd scale Viper and put it with it, and that way you can get a really good comparison to what it's going to be like in situ. The other set I got was a desk, which I probably won't use because it's more like I don't know. I guess you could make a metal desk out of it if you painted it gray. Most likely, I'm not gonna. The only thing that's probably going to be kind of a tan color will be the little the little chambers that the Jolly, you forgot the kids.
Jolly, you forgot the kids.
Chamber. I kind of wish there were more of these, or you could just get those, because that right there is a diorama in and of itself. You have to make you a little cover to drape over it or whatever. But yeah, you got the little computer and a couple of tanks. Tanks for tank's sake. Now the other thing was the pilots, and so the pilots are. I did the same thing. I took some pictures of the pilots, and just how well these came out, how small they are, but how detailed. And I have a resin 3D printer, and I would be afraid to try and do something that small and that detailed and hope that it came out. And maybe it's a smaller printer. Maybe it's just a more expensive, better printer than what I got. Let's be honest. But I'm at the point with these that I want to get the equipment done, and then I'll go back and using the paint guides figure out what people to paint and where to put them. Okay, so that's that. The other thing, back to this guy. Now, I think in part 1, I was going through my Greeblie box, and I came across some landing gear, and I had made the comment. The reason I'm not going to use this is because I've got a complete set of landing gear. It's got to be a Viper. There are only 3 pieces there. It's got to be a Viper. But you've got all 3 legs and all 3 feet. Well, that's something that I could use for another kit. So this goes back in the box. This goes in the do not use right now. Little did I know I would be using them quickly. I did figure out that this is the landing gear to the Bondi A-Wing, and it just happened to be just the right size to fit on here, make it sit level like it's supposed to. It's already been primered and top coated with the final color. I'm going to use some of the decals from the newer Mark II kit to do this, and that'll be kind of a blend of the two. you got the old body, but the newer markings, which would kind of make sense. You know, Mark 1 body, Mark 2 decals. So, we got the decals, we got the kits, we got the greeblies. Let's figure out some paint.
Figured the best way to get these things painted is to tape them down. Because if you get too much pressure, it'll just blow them away anyway. Tamiya Surface Primer. I love this stuff. Gotta get a little bit organized. Originally I was kind of stressing out about the colors, but luckily, like the stasis chamber, well, it was the 70s. It was silver. There's, you know. And this shorter tank was also, I found a picture of the Galactica Bay, and it was also like a shiny chrome silver. So we're going to use our chrome pen and just chrome it up. Almost too easy. It was sci-fi, and it was in the 70s, and it was spacey, it was silver, man. It was a beautiful thing. This is almost cheating. It just does not feel. I have some rub and buff in silver. I could have used that, but I just really wanted to use this chrome marker on a little bit bigger piece than just the outlines of the cockpit. I'll see if I can get some good pictures without it being washed out by the light. It's chromy. The detail on this, there's no real good way I would have been able to rough and buff it anyway. This guy is red. Or I'm gonna make it red. Put it that way. Well, look at here. Red. Well, that was unfortunate. Only thing you miss is me struggling to get the engine hoist painted. It kept falling over. I was really frustrated. Oop. But our chromey silver stasis chamber looks good. Our tank looks good. So we got the toolbox and then the stairs. The stairs, the problem with Galactica, new Galactica, everything is shades of gray, tones of gray, and it just doesn't, it doesn't, the color palette is really narrow, and I don't want something to stand out that way too far out of whack, but it doesn't give you a very good range of colors either. So kind of staying in that range, I've got this Humbrol Desert Yellow, and I'm gonna paint the stairs in that. I still have to figure out what I'm gonna do about the toolbox. I am so tempted to paint it purple, but that would just be so out of place. We'll think about it. But in the meantime, let's get this guy going. Oh, that's beautiful. That's wunderbar. So, tank. We got the toolbox left. What to do, what to do.
Okay, Pan forgot to turn my mic on again, so I'm going to have to talk my way through this video. Now, I'm using the decals from the Mobius Viper kits on this resin print. And there's something was going on with the decals, because when I was soaking them, they were just breaking apart. I'm not too worried about that, because I'm going to go on ahead and use that to tell the story that this is an older unit that they've pulled out of mothballs. It's seen some battles in space, and it just helps tell the story. I didn't have all the decals, but there's enough on there that give you the idea of, oh, that's the classic Viper. It doesn't have to be exact. It just needs to, when you see it, if at a glance, you know what it is, and that's all that really matters. So first what we're going to try is using the brown panel line accent color, and just to give it a little bit of a weathering, a little bit of a hue. And I'm putting it on, and it's almost pointless. It's not really doing anything. So I'm gonna set that aside. See, you can't even tell I put anything on there. So I'm gonna go and grab the black accent panel line and put it on there and see what it's gonna do for me. And you can see right away it's already changing the color. And that's exactly what I wanted. I wanted to put some years on this model, and this black accent color is definitely, using it as a wash, is definitely going to tell that story. I was really afraid at this point. I'm dabbing it, and not a lot of it's coming off, and there's a significant difference in the parts that had been treated and the parts that haven't. And I was like, oh man, you really messed this up now. But it's too late to go back. Let's keep going forward with it. That's all we can do. So let's take a look and see what we've got. This is the treated side. This is the untreated side. Huge difference, but the treated side definitely tells a story. It gives you that sense of old, worn out, rode hard, put away wet. And it's just going to help, again, like I said, to tell the story we're trying to tell. I decided to go back and add some more of the brown on top of the black. And I think it does, on top of the black, it does give you a little bit more depth to what we're trying to accomplish here in telling this story. And since we were already doing a wash on the Mark II, I decided to pull the Mark VII over and give it a little bit of a wash. The wash didn't add a dramatic amount to the Mark VII, but I think it just gave it a little bit more life. So we have our Mark VII and our Mark II. While all that was getting done, I also had the opportunity to go on ahead and get a clear coat on our other pieces. So let's take a look at those and maybe get some pieces placed on the launch bay. Okay, here's what we ended up with. We've got our stairs. They look pretty good. We've got our toolbox, which, yes, I went on ahead and painted it purple. We've got our desk, olive drab green. We've got our tank, and it's chromey. And we have our cryo chamber, and it is also chromey. And we have our other tank, which is nice yellow with a chrome top. I'm gonna have to fix that. I need to level that off. And then we have our engine hoist. Everything is good to go. Now, the other thing I also wanted to do was I wanted to take one of these Vipers. And since I'm not a real big fan of the Mark VII, I wouldn't feel bad about destroying this. But I want to give it some damage. So we're going to do that. really sure whether you got it right or you got it wrong until you get done. And even then, you're still kind of like, at least I am. But this is how it came out. It took me a couple of passes to figure out how I wanted to get the paint to lay down, but I wanted to look like a strafe, like it'd been come across right at an angle. And the hole in the wing, to me, really sells the story. This guy barely made it back. All in all, I'm happy. I know this one went a little bit long, and I apologize for that, but at the same time, it's been a while. I know we're trying to get this done, and with everything we've gotten done, we're still not finished. There are a couple of things here and there, a couple of, like, I want to put a black trim border around the edge of there to kind of make it a little bit more finished, and there are a couple of more accent pieces that I think I need to add just to make it, mwah. But I can't complain about where we've gotten so far. I really appreciate you guys hanging around and waiting for me to get this thing done. We're gonna get there. But in the meantime, what are you getting done? Is it painting, building a model, working on, I don't know. You tell me. That's the whole point of go build something. But in the meantime, I leave you with this.
Indigo Squadron Flight Control, please confirm pre-launch flight check. Roger that, Command. Indigo Leader, commencing pre-flight check. Looks like we're green across the board. Wait a minute. My screen's not even flickering. And I think he fixed my seat. Man, that Pan. He's a pain in the butt, but God, he's good. I'm gonna have to send him something to drink. Flight, we're good. Indigo Leader, Flight Control, confirmed. Pre-launch check, all in the green. By the way, Chief Pan doesn't drink, but I have seen him enjoy the occasional mushy. Flight Indigo Leader, can I ask a favor? Could you send some mushies over to Pan? I think he earned this one. Indigo Leader, Flight Control, I'll take care of that personally. Launch when ready, and Godspeed.
Have fun, be safe, and go build something. Pew 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 pew.